On pole position on the left is Lucas de Grassi from Brazil. On the right-hand side, alongside him, is the black and gold Techeetah car of Jean-Éric Vergne. All 5 lights are on. And we go green in Buenos Aires. Who's going to get a good start? Buemi's got away pretty decently. So was the poleman de Grassi on the run down towards the first corner. De Grassi covers the inside line. Can Buemi outbrake Jean-Éric Vergne into turn 1? I don't think he can. Vergne's going to hold that inside line. Then it's the 2 next EV cars. A little bit of rubbing further back, but nothing too dramatic. But Lucas de Grassi it is who has held the lead, and Jean-Éric Vergne has held off the fight from Buemi, who slots down into 3rd position. The 2 next EV cars are going side by side further back, and Nico Prost actually is trying to make his way past Nelson Piquet Jr. This is the pinch point at turn 4. Are we all going to get through safely? Yes, just about. Perfect start for de Grassi, Dario.
Yeah, absolutely. Did exactly what he had to do there. I was quite surprised. I thought Buemi was going to pass Jev, but you can see that side by side further back.
We will have full course yellow in 10.
And we're going for a full course yellow, so that will mean all the cars have to slow down to the same speed, and it will neutralise the race.
1. Full course yellow.
Full course yellow now, and it all gets a little bit tight coming down into there. And oh, it's Adam Carroll. It's Adam Carroll in the Jaguar. Didn't get off the line, and that's why we've had to have the full course yellow, so his car can be removed safely. The order at the end of lap 1 of 37, de Grassi, Vergne, Buemi, Turvey, Piquet, the top 5. Rosenqvist, Prost has dropped all the way down to 4th position. So frustration for him. And, well, there it is, Adam Carroll. I mean, you can't buy luck, can you?
No, and he needs to get it going here, but before these guys cross. I don't even know if it would work now because he's had a push. But yeah, that's going to open up for the rest of the guys that are fortunate enough still to be running. It's going to open up the strategy.
Can you hear me? Has that worked?
Okay, so Carroll's got going just before the field got past and lapped him. So now he's going to sprint around to the back.
But he got pushed, so there's that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he's still, it's full course yellow, not a safety car, so he can't push unless he's given permission.
No, but I'm saying he got a push start.
Adam, is everything okay?
True, but if they would just move, it wasn't a push start, it was just a moving of the car.
I hope so, because I want to see him back in the race.
Copy that, Adam. You need to catch up with you need to respect the full course yellow.
Yeah, exactly.
Enable your pit limiter.
So I think that's the problem for Adam Carroll. He can't, if it was a safety car, he could sprint around and join the back of the pack.
He's learning the rules too.
Yeah. Anyway.
This is race control. We will full course yellow ending in 10.
So here we go, the race about to get underway. They will take off their pit limiters and go back racing. And you can see the Dragon car blocking Sam Bird.
Green flag, green flag.
Here we go green flag racing again here in Argentina. Lucas de Grassi leads the way for the Audi Sport app team, and right behind him is Jean-Éric Vergne. Sébastien Buemi, the championship leaders in that blue and yellow car in 3rd place. Felix Rosenqvist is trying to get through. Big lock-up on the brakes from some of the drivers further back. Gets a little bit messy, but they've just about managed to keep it all together.
Rosenqvist was shoving the car in front down the road there.
Yep, and then look at that, it's side-by-side action coming out of the hairpin at turn number 5. Rosenqvist has managed to get past Nico Prost and up into 6th position. He's the only real driver to make a change in position. Mitch Evans, is he going into the back of D'Ambrosio there? Looked very close, just about kept it together. Here they come through the chicane to complete lap 2.
Oh, we've seen low tyre pressures here, and the car's really bottoming out.
Spectacular stuff as they come through that chicane, and then even more spectacular here.
Love this corner.
Throwing the cars in pretty much flat out.
Oh, absolutely. They'll be wide open down into there. Any moves going into one. Oh, there's one at the back.
Here comes Mitch Evans on the attack, going up the inside of D'Ambrosio, locks up both tyres, but the Jaguar driver gets through. D'Ambrosio's going to fight back, side by side through turn 3. D'Ambrosio knows he had to get out of that one, and that could put him under pressure from Mauro Engel behind as well. Sorry, Stefan Sarazan, who's trying to go around the outside of turn 3, and there goes Vergne into the lead of the race. Jean-Éric Vergne for Techeetah goes past Lucas de Grassi and is now in front, and that means it's Buemi and de Grassi, the 2 old rivals, nose to tail in 2nd and 3rd. So Jean-Éric Vergne takes the lead for Techeetah.
This is where Jean-Éric Vergne is at his best. Let's see if he can set sail a little bit. His weak spot has always been energy management.
And here comes Buemi as well. Sébastien Buemi up into 2nd place. De Grassi is 2nd in the championship. Buemi is 1st, and now Buemi has overtaken him.
And Turvey, though, is just hanging on in there.
Yeah.
Little for Turvey, just... The Nelson Piquet's long run in FP2 was pretty decent.
Yeah.
So... I was about to say, not a lot happens normally in the first sort of segment with the first car in the Formula E race, and it all goes nuts in the second, but these guys are really getting after it here.
And left
does that show?
16,
does that show that track position is so important?
Same as cars around you.
So, onto the brakes they come. Look at the usable energy remaining in the tower on the left-hand side. When that gets down to 1%, 0%, you've got to come into the pits and change into your second car.
And what we've seen in seasons past is it was sort of a plus or minus 3 or 4 or 5%. This season, we've seen them entering the pits. Really, it's zero. They're absolutely wringing every last bit of energy out of that battery, and it's part of the progress we've seen in the series and in the stuff underneath the bodywork that we really cannot see.
The logo on the right-hand side, the team radio Lucas Di Grassi, means his radio is open. So if he talks, we hear it. There's no sort of filtering process. So that means his radio is open at the moment.
1% less than Buemi.
And that's him being told
less than Turvey.
You're 1% less than Buemi and 1% less than Turvey. So you're going to have to save a bit more energy than the guy in front of you and the guy behind you.
Tell you what, Turvey looks comfortable.
Yeah,
I have to say right now. And Nelson Piquet behind him is defending from Nico Prost.
Sam Bird has dropped all the way down to 19th position. Jose Maria Lopez has just dropped down to 17th position. A little dart out there from Buemi. So the two DS Virgin cars are in all sorts of trouble here, and it's not turning into a happy hunting ground for them. Very different to 1 year ago.
What is the reason for it, though? I mean, that's a lot of places. Did he make a mistake? Has he had a car issue?
Now, this is Buemi's favourite overtaking spot, coming down into turn 4. Verne knows it. He's looking in his mirrors, but Buemi isn't close enough to make the overtake just yet. And you're right, Turvey's right there, and here comes Prost. Prost going up the inside of Nelson Piquet Jr., and he is now up into 5th place. He's got past Rosenqvist, and he's got past Nelson Piquet, and Prost is recovering well up into 5th spot.
Piquet just does not look comfortable here. He looks, he's all defensive. He's slightly offline at every corner, and he's just struggling a little bit. Whether it's with grip, what's going on, I do not know. He's using energy, which is very unlike him. And I think Rosenqvist is just setting him up for a move here.
Just 0.4 of a second between Verne in the lead and Buemi in second place. These two former Toro Rosso Formula One racers, and it's Verne who's driving for the Techeetah team up at the front. Now, they have the same technology in the car as the Works Renault team behind. They're not allowed to do testing and things like that because they are a customer team, not a manufacturer. Is Buemi looking it up, coming down into turn 1? He's thinking about it, he's going for it, and Sébastien Buemi takes the lead in Argentina. Easy as you like, up the inside, got the job done on the brakes, and the championship leader's back in front.
I have to say, Jack, that caught me by surprise. I thought Jean-Éric Vergne was going to put up a much bigger fight there, but look at Oliver Turvey. He's setting up Lucas Di Grassi for turn 4. This next corner, yep, pulled out.
Here he comes then, up the inside, and he gets it job done on the brakes.
Di Grassi is in trouble here. He is absolutely in trouble because he just didn't even fight off there. The energy is quite similar to those around him. Maybe 1 or 2% less, but he's struggling.
Yeah, certainly looks like it, doesn't it? So Buemi leads, Verne in second place, Turvey third, Lucas Di Grassi is 4th, 5th is Nico Prost, then it's Nelson Piquet, Felix Rosenqvist, Mitch Evans, still doing well in 8th place, 9th Jerome D'Ambrosio, completing the top 10 is Stefan Sarazan. As you see the fans on the left there clamouring to get a view of the circuit, and what a place to watch this is, right on the inside of the final chicane before they come across the line. We're on lap 7 of 37 here. When we get to the half race distance, you'll start to see, they're so oversteery coming into this right-hander, aren't they? The back end swinging out.
And that's all set up from turn 10 and how they approach turn 10. And our leader, Sébastien Buemi, had a big old moment in 10 in qualifying and essentially ruined his chance at pole.
So here's a look at the replay.
Perfect, textbook, just sat up behind him, braked a little bit later, no locked wheels, nothing, a little bit wider, out of 1, put him offline for 2, but yeah, just no worries at all. And there's Lopez.
Yep, he's right up behind Maro Engel, the German driver, who is in 16th place for the Venturi team, the Monaco-based electric vehicle company. But Jose Maria Lopez, who's a 3-times World Touring Car Champion, he's won Touring Car Championships here in Argentina as well. He's also going to be driving for Toyota in the World Endurance Championship this year, but unfortunately for him, he's down in 17th place, not the home he would have wanted.
Walking back from the grid there, I noticed that the two Abt cars had drastically different downforce levels.
Really?
Lucas Di Grassi really think was trimmed out in his spare car, whereas Daniel Abt had a little bit more like a qualifying level of downforce in the car, so a lot more downforce.
Sébastien Buemi sets the fastest lap of the race so far, a 1 minute 11.5. He's now 1.2 seconds clear of Jean-Éric Vergne at the front of the field as they swing through that fantastic corner at turn 10. Really nose to tail. Here comes one of the Dragon cars on the attack. It's Loic Duval who's climbed up an awful long way. He's trying to pass Stefan Sarazan for 10th place. Gets up the inside, gets on the brakes. He's got a bit of damage on the nose of that car, so he's had a meeting with someone, and he's now right up behind his teammate D'Ambrosio, whereas D'Ambrosio started in 9th place and Duval started down in 14th. So that white and black dotty car is very impressive. Oh, and Sam Bird, not the same as last year.
No.
Where he won from pole position.
Yeah,
oh, he's hit left rear, yeah.
Yeah. Did he damage that? It caused him to go back to 19th and then it's finally broken?
Yeah, potentially.
I'm just speculating. Oh, we have an overspeed under full course yellow.
Adam Carroll.
Not surprising, really.
It's a shame for Adam Carroll, isn't it? But he sort of thought it was a situation where he needed to catch up to the back of the pack.
He thought it was a safety car, didn't he?
Yeah.
Just not being sort of really cognizant of the rules, and unfortunate.
And he knew as well, didn't he? As soon as they said, Adam, respect full course. Well, no, because even the engineer started to say it, didn't he? Even the engineer said, catch up to the back of the pack. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Do full course yellow. So it caught them all out, didn't it? Lap 9 of 37.
And that's one of the tough points of a new team. There's a lot to learn, and you're not sort of... Here's a fan boost here.
Yeah, so here are our fan boost winners. Sébastien Buemi, Lucas de Grassi and Daniel Abt are the 3 drivers who have won the fan boost. So in their second car, they will get an extra power boost to use whenever they want to try and attack the car in front or defend from the car behind. And the car behind Lucas de Grassi at the moment is Nico Prost, and Prost is going to want to get racy. Sam Bird is going to get into his other car and try and set the fastest lap of the race. If you set the fastest lap of the race, you get 2 points.
P5 in the championship is not looking very good after today. That's a real shame for him there.
Look how close Prost is now in that blue and yellow Renault car, the teammate to Buemi, right up behind de Grassi. And I think Buemi would be very, very grateful if Prost got himself involved in this fight as well.
Yeah, any point he can separate himself from Lucas de Grassi right now, you'd want to be doing it, because we've seen that de Grassi is a guy that come the season end, he's in the fight for the championship.
Big lock-up from Turvey coming into turn 10. He had good pace. Now he's sort of becoming a bit of a bottleneck, but he still overtook de Grassi.
Front and behind, same.
So the guys in the front and behind are the same. Big lock-up from Turvey. Still managed to find the apex of the corner.
I'm wondering if he's changed the map on the regen, because the motors, obviously, they act as a rear brake for the car. I wonder if he's changed that bit, because he's really locking the fronts now. So something in that setup of that next EV car has changed.
It's 1 point, I should say, for fastest lap. It was 2 points last year, now it is 1 point. Lap 10 of 37 here in Buenos Aires. And Nico Prost is now just deciding when to try and make his move on Lucas de Grassi. I think he's got, well, a fraction more usable energy, and I mean a fraction. But if that fraction is enough to mean you don't have to brake as late or brake as early coming into one corner, that's enough.
My money's on turn 1 next lap.
Okay.
He's just going to just stay on the loud pedal just a fraction longer and execute that pass, because if he wants to get up on the podium here, he's going to have to start making things happen.
Can you still call it a loud pedal in electric cars?
Yeah, you can if you want. Yeah. An old dinosaur like me, you can, I think.
So, lap 11 of 37, is this going to be the move? Lucas de Grassi moved over to the right-hand side so he can see Prost in his mirrors.
Too far back.
He's a little bit too far back, the Frenchman in that blue and yellow Renault car. De Grassi was going very, very close to the back of Oliver Turvey in that turquoise and black next EV car, the man from Penrith in the north of England.
Let's give a shout out to Mitch Evans, still P8 there.
Yeah, absolutely. And
he's hanging in there.
In fact, he dropped to P9, I think, at one point, and has now got back past D'Ambrosio.
But the usable energy left, he's using some energy to stay up there, unfortunately. But that's part of that, again, the learning process for him and the team. Everything's new for the Jaguar team this year.
Certainly it's Prost closer to de Grassi than de Grassi is, and there's Maro Engel, who's had a stop and then managed to re-going again. He's been having car troubles with that all day long. That's the reason he started down at the back of the grid, because his car stopped in qualifying as well. Across the line then comes Buemi, Vergne, the top two are sprinting clear. Then it's this long battle for third place. Turvey, who's never had a Formula E podium, ahead of Lucas de Grassi, who started from pole position, with Nico Prost behind in 5th spot, 1 place higher than he started. Then it's Nelson Piquet and the red and white Mahindra in the hands of the Swedish driver Felix Rosenqvist. Onto the brakes into turn 1. Prost doesn't seem to be able to keep close coming down the straight into turn 1.
Yeah, it looks like he's losing out of turn 10. which he can't. The advantage is too big into one to get him on the brakes. But this is maybe that section when you think Nico's aggression. If that was maybe Buemi, he's having a go now.
Here comes Nico Prost up the inside into turn 4, and he's got the job done on the brakes.
I'll just shut up about his aggression then.
Yeah. And he goes through. A round of applause from Jean-Paul Driot. A cool sip of a drink from Alain Prost. But the Renault car now is up into 4th place ahead of de Grassi.
That is big news for the Renault E-Dams guys. Watch how he catches up now with Oliver Turvey. Let's see that.
Was de Grassi? Oh, he was pretty close there.
He was looking, and he caused Nico Prost to look in the mirrors.
So here's a look at de Grassi's telemetry on the right-hand side. The outer ring, you can see his speed.
If only as a driver you had all this information
yeah,
and a heads up.
You got the power amount he's using in the middle of that dial on the right-hand side. His best lap, a 1 minute 12.1, about 7/10 slower than the fastest lap of the race. And you can see how much energy he has remaining, 37% left. And big lock-up from Turvey.
Did he even make the corner?
He did just about. It was that before where de Grassi went deep into the corner that allowed Prost that run on him all the way down to turn 4.
We've got the two dragon cars running here nose to tail. Daniel Ab back in 14th position.
Then we've got Antonio Felix da Costa ahead of Jose Maria Lopez. And we've got a yellow flag at turn 4 as well. So we'll keep an eye out on that one. In fact, these guys are just approaching turn 4, so we'll probably get to see it. Oh, and it's, is that Maro Engel again?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. So he's really, really struggling with that car.
All day he's had that problem, hasn't he?
Yeah. So not ideal for Maro Engel. He'll now be a lap down, won't he? Yes. So not good news for him. And Adam Carroll is down in 19th position at the moment as Maro Engel moves over. But with the limited testing these guys are allowed, Engel will stay out there because you can always learn something. Here comes Lopez up the inside of Antonio Felix da Costa, coming down into the hairpin, and he is through.
Into turn 7. That's been the slipperiest corner all day, so brave move there. Is he able to set sail though? That's a yellow at turn 6. I think it's probably Maro again.
And that's up into 15th place now. Good move, Lopez is told.
I'd agree with that.
And Maro Engel has actually been given the black and orange flag now, which says
the mechanical flag.
Come in. We don't want you going around stopping on the track every 20 feet.
That would be the internal combustion equivalent, would be dropping oil or into place.
Now, Oliver Turvey is starting to use a bit more energy, both than those in front, but crucially those behind. Prost, de Grassi, Piquet, Rosenqvist, they've all got more energy. The crowd cheering Lopez there as he came past. It's a shame they didn't have a little bit more to cheer, but we'll see what he can do over the remainder of the race.
Not even halfway yet.
No, absolutely.
So let's, there's plenty of time to go. Rosenqvist is doing a brilliant job on actually energy saving today, which was his weak spot in Marrakesh.
Now, do we think he's going to be able to go 1 lap longer, I wonder? Because he's 3% up at the moment. Meanwhile, you'd have to say that Mitch Evans is probably going to have to stop early. This is Lopez sliding his way around.
Oversteer on the way in, bottoming out on the next curb. At that point, you're thinking, oh no, as outside ball comes towards you.
Bit of damage on the front nose.
Yeah, if you haven't got that, it doesn't mean you're not trying hard enough if you haven't got a little bit of a scrape.
So on the brakes they come, into that hairpin. Down at turn 1.
Duval was backing it into turn 1. They locked the rears pretty early in the braking zone and just made it. Sébastien Buemi, he's just serenely going about his business, isn't he? Look at that.
4.4 seconds up the road from Jean-Éric Vergne, and that's impressive in itself because they have the same powertrain. You know, the Renault powertrain does look like it's the best out there, but Jean-Éric Vergne has the same one, so does Nico Prost, who's in the other blue and yellow Renault car here, and Prost is just sitting behind Oliver Turvey and unable to make progress.
Buemi's ruining our race here.
Yeah, exactly.
The Oliver Turvey looks like he's struggling with the back end of that car now. It looks almost really stiff and it's not putting the power down at all well. And he's really slow through turn 7 for some reason.
So through they come. Now is Prost going to have a look here into turn 1. He's very, very close to the back of Turvey. How much will Turvey decide to fight? Prost decides not to go for it.
Prost was looking in the mirror though. He was more interested in what de Grassi was doing than actually attacking Turvey. This is where Prost is really strong, I think, right now, going into 4. And I think this is where he'll have the move.
Here he comes, tucked right up behind Turvey as they come round through the left-hander. This is the battle for third position. Oliver Turvey in the next EV car. And again, Prost isn't quite close enough.
They just thought about it, that you've got to be decisive. And those moves where you can think, I'll have a go, no, I won't, yeah, I will. That's when you end up crashing.
But Turvey has 2% less usable, now 3% at that point, less usable energy than Prost. So it will come at some point. At some point, Turvey will have to start slowing down to save his energy.
Well, again, it's all about just getting to that pit entry at zero. There's 0% left in this battery. It's all about getting there. This line, you'll see pit entries just coming up on the right-hand side of your screen there. Once you're in there, you're okay. And it's a minimum pit stop time today, 55 seconds.
Yep. Come in, change cars, and then out again. And see, Grassi was pretty close here to the back of Nico Prost. Do you think he's going to fancy it?
Yeah, he's
Copy.
Is he
Grassi going to fancy going back past Nico Prost? Feints to the inside. Prost locks up. He's going in deep. They keep it together just for now.
He just, by jinking out there, it gets a Nico Prost mirror, distracts him a bit, and then you see him locking up. That gets Nico Prost's heart beat up a little bit, gets him thinking more about Grassi rather than attacking Turvey.
Exactly, that gives Turvey a little bit of, and actually Nelson Piquet's coming back into this now.
Yeah, he is.
In the other next EV car at the back there with the yellow wing mirrors, he had dropped well away from this battle, but has now managed to crawl himself back in. Mitch Evans out there is going to do, I think he might get one more lap after this one. It's going to be pretty tight.
Yeah, he might have to back it off a little bit to make that, but he needs to make it to get to the end of the race.
Starting to lose region.
Through the left-hander they come, and there's Jerry Hughes, the new team principal of the next EV Neo team, a very, very experienced engineer. 2 more laps for Nelson Piquet is what they've been told. So you're looking at about 6% a lap. So Mitch Evans, I think, will be able to do 1 more.
Yeah, he's going to be right on the cusp. Unfortunately, that puts him up against it with his second car. These other guys might be able to open it up a bit more. You saw some locking up there, going into the hairpin, the car in front.
And so now I wonder what Felix Rosenqvist is doing, because he's only got a 4% margin over everybody else. It would be really, really tough, I think, for him to get 1 more lap going out of it compared to them. But he's at the back, not pushing. And this is looking back from Daniel Abt, who's in 13th position, and Jose Maria Lopez, who we're on board with now, with that damage, I said earlier, to his front nose, but of course it's just his nose. You haven't got a back nose. And he comes, then they give him a round of applause as he tries to close in on Abt for 13th place. Little nose to the inside, not quite close enough.
No, he just got to him, didn't he, just in the braking zone. He has to be a little bit closer than that, getting out of turn 1 next time if he wants to make that move into 4, which seems to be his preferred passing spot, really.
Rosenqvist might make this. He might go a lap longer here, and Heidfeldt's on the same, on 13-12%.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see the Mahindras go 1 lap longer.
Mitch Evans, though, he's got to come in here. This is going to be close for him.
And Turvey's in the pits. Oliver Turvey decides to come into the pits now. So he was in 3rd position.
Evans made it.
Yep, and Mitch Evans has made it in 2. So before the pit stops, it was Buemi leading with Vergne 2nd. Then it was Oliver Turvey, who's now come in. Then Prost, then Grassi. And here they come. And then it was Piquet and Rosenqvist. So we'll see what the order is as they come out. Mitch Evans has been given a 5-second time penalty for overspeeding under full course yellow. That's unfortunate for him, isn't it?
There's our leader. Last lap, 12.7, 3/10 quicker than 2nd place.
He'll be coming in on this lap, Sébastien Buemi.
There's no point in gambling. He doesn't have to gamble anything here. He just keep going about his business. Don't take any chances. No pressure under the pit stop. You got the minimum pit stop time.
Vergne's moderately touch and go here. Here he comes towards the line, right on 1%. And he should be able to make it in, and indeed he does.
This is what I mean, Jack. Everybody now is pushing it right to that limit. Yeah. Is Rosenqvist going to have a go at another lap? I don't see it. No, I don't see it.
Well, he was just about. We were just about to find out as he comes through the final chicane, and yep, he stayed out. I think he's got 1 more lap in him. Yeah, anyway, here comes Jean-Éric Vergne to switch over into his other car. Here comes Sébastien Buemi. This is where races can be won and lost. And if you're the championship leader, Sébastien Buemi, you want a clean pit stop. You want the car to fire up.
You want it to go into gear.
Yeah.
As Sam Bird discovered. It's those things that are out with your control as a driver. You're just like, come on, let's just get this bit out of the way. This is no time to relax. Any pit stop is not a time to sort of take stock.
Waiting, there goes Piquet. Right, so Piquet comes out, still quite a way behind Vergne. And now out goes Sébastien Buemi, comfortably clear of the rest of the pack. His lap time was 56 seconds. Here comes Vergne, a little bit close, just about makes it out. And goodness me, Grassi coming right out in front of Nelson Piquet. And that caused Piquet to gesticulate a little bit, and they're still in the same positions as before, but I don't think Piquet was impressed with that. Maybe in a little bit of trouble for unsafe release, and they've all managed to leapfrog Oliver Turvey. So Oliver Turvey, who was in third place, is now at the back of this queue. Where is Rosenqvist going to come out? That's going to be the interesting thing, and what can he then do in terms of attacking? Here's a look at the replay. Is this an unsafe release?
Yeah, because Piquet had to lift.
The trouble you have is that corner before.
It's blind, yeah. The crew chief, the mechanic who'd released Grassi out there, it was he's blind, so you can't. When he released him, the car wasn't in view. But it's, then Piquet had to brake. So here's Rosenqvist.
So he's gone one lap longer, and he is about to, and his teammate as well, coming into the pits now. Really slow in lap actually from Felix Rosenqvist. I think he really had to back out of it. It was
defeats the purpose, doesn't it?
Yeah, we'll see where he comes out though, and he may, he can then push harder than everyone else for the remainder. So it's now Buemi leading, Vergne second, the same as before the pit stops. But Nico Prost is now up into third position with Lucas de Grassi behind him in fourth position. Here's oh, no, it's over for Rosenqvist. Rosenqvist is not leaving the pit lane. There's a problem for the Mahindra car, and that hard work from Rosenqvist has gone down the pan. They can't get it going. And, well, when it's not working out on one day, it's really not working out on one day. A real shame for him. And a bit of a slide there from Lucas de Grassi. So there's the order on the left now after the pit stops. Buemi, Vergne, Prost, de Grassi, Piquet, Turvey, Evans, Duval, D'Ambrosio, Daniel Abt completing the top 10, and they still can't get Felix Rosenqvist going. He's down in 16th place now. His race is over.
Yeah, he can have a go at fastest lap. Every point counts, but you see Buemi then just taking off through there. Now, de Grassi crashed one of his cars this morning pretty hard. I wonder if that was the car he was in there and he wasn't very happy with it. Let's see if he can make a move, get up on Nico Prost and get past him here, get back up onto the podium.
Yeah, that's going to be, I think that will be his aim.
Close. Oh, it's definitely his aim, is whether he's capable.
Yes. Aren't I clever? I think his aim is to do as well as possible.
We've got Rosenqvist at a lap down now.
Yeah. So unfortunate, Felix Rosenqvist.
Now Piquet's pulled away from Turvey. So what's going on?
Turvey's going to have to super look after his energy now, because he's got 82%. Everyone else in front of him has got 88, 87%. So he couldn't quite make it last, Oliver Turvey. He was okay in the early stages, but then it just, towards the end of that first stint, it started to drab away.
Yeah, you start to really have to over-slow for the corners, and when you're trying to save energy, you're going to build momentum and make up the speed through the corner. You're lifting and coasting. That doesn't mean you're on a cruise. It means you're going to make the speed up through the middle of the corner that de Grassi's just gone through there. That's the point in the corner you make it up. If the balance of the car is not right, you start having to over-slow it. You start having to use more energy to keep up. Vicious circle. You see what happens.
Mitch Evans in the back of shot there has just been overtaken by Loic Duval. So Duval is up into 7th place. Mitch Evans just dropped down to 8th spot. And here they come now, the Dragon cars, but then it's D'Ambrosio in 9th. Daniel Abt down in 10th position. So
Lucas, you have fan boost, and last stint was on the limits. This one is 1 lap less, so a bit more care with regen pedal.
Okay, so that's Lucas de Grassi being told he's got the fan boost, but more care with regen panel.
Yeah, I wonder if he's telling him to use it a little more. I don't know. It's interesting they're all going back to using the regen paddle. If you talked to them a while back, everybody was saying, nah, not interested. We just want to set the thing up to regen.
You can harvest more energy this season, can't you?
Yeah.
When we say regen, we're talking about the regeneration of energy that comes from the brakes, then back into the electric motor. And by using the regen, you choose how much energy you harvest, basically.
Well, it essentially puts the electric motor into reverse, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And so the actual mechanical braking system is doing less at that point. It's all about the engine and the motor in reverse slowing the car down at the back. It changes the brake balance, though. The brake balance front to rear in these cars is critical. It's adjustable, and it changes a lot depending on the regeneration demands, what you ask. Yeah, Grassi looks a bit racier with his car, doesn't he?
Yeah, he certainly does. We're on board with him here, and he's, as we say, he's got the fan boost.
He's
Little switch from Prost. Is this going to be the opportunity for Lucas de Grassi as we come down the start-finish straight? They are nose to tail. De Grassi has the fan boost. Is he going to utilise it coming down to turn 1? He looks up the inside, gets on the brakes. Is he going to be able to overtake Prost? Yes, he is. Lucas de Grassi up into 3rd position, ahead of his rival team from Renault, and Nico Prost drops down to 4th. I don't think he used his fan boost because he knew he had it anyway.
Yeah, no, exactly right. Now let's see, can he catch up with Jean-Éric Vergne? That will be a battle royal if he catches up with Jean-Éric Vergne, because right now Buemi's he's off, isn't he? He's got a 5-second lead and he's just managing it.
Yep, 5.4 seconds. Here's Jose Maria Lopez. He is now up behind Nick Heidfeld in their battle over what is 12th place, isn't it? No, Heidfeld.
I think Heidfeld must have passed him.
Yes,
he went past Lopez.
Yeah, exactly. So Lopez has lost out to Nick Heidfeld. My apologies. That's what's happened there.
Yeah, the crowd won't like that.
No, absolutely not. And here's a look at that overtake for 3rd position.
Perfect. Just absolutely textbook. Nico Prost does that thing you don't like he does. That late sort of defence once the guy's made the move on you. It's not ideal. Textbook from Lucas.
When you're running so close, you've got such even pace, why wouldn't Prost cover the inside there? It wasn't an inevitable overtake, was it?
No, it wasn't. But he maybe saw it a bit too late.
Who's in front of me? Is it Jeff?
Who's in front of me?
Yeah. De Grassi saying, who's in front of me? Is it Jev? i.e. Jean-Éric Vergne. Onto the brakes into turn 4. And
here comes de Grassi.
So this is where it all went wrong for there on the way in.
He's offline already. Nico Prost, he lost the rear on the way in. He's behind the car now. He's behind the corner, and he's having to sort of put more lock in. He's lost time. And there you go. Here we go. You see that move, that jink once he's moved?
Yeah.
I don't like that. It can create some hellacious accidents in a straight line. After that, Lucas has taken off. Got a lovely run out of turn 2. See you later.
But we know, I can't think of any examples where Prost has jinked across and caused a massive accident. Oh,
Season 1,
the
race
first race
1.
of the season. Yeah.
Vergne caught Buemi 6/10 that lap.
Interesting. We'll keep an eye out on that one, but that was actually a very slow lap from Buemi.
Yeah.
A 1 minute 11.8 is slower than anyone apart from Oliver Turvey. There is Jean-Éric Vergne, as you see there on that last lap, 0.6 of a second.
Yep.
Buemi's got slightly less usable energy as well.
Sam Bird has the fastest lap right now.
And de Grassi was 0.3 quicker than Vergne. So maybe that's what it was, is that Vergne's had to up his pace. De Grassi's on his way.
Lap was 3 tenths faster than you.
Last lap, de Grassi was 0.3 faster than you, is the message to Jean-Éric Vergne. Nick Heidfeld.
Buemi is 6 tenths slower, Buemi is 6 tenths slower, same amount of energy than you.
That right there, that's the, come on, giddy up, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get after this win here.
Nick Heidfeld is under investigation for being under the minimum pit stop time. There is Jose Maria Lopez, the Argentinian, not from Buenos Aires, from a small city called Rio Tercero, just outside of Cordoba in the centre of the country, but still very much his home E-Prix. And
he's got a problem in the shape of Antonio Felix da Costa, who's coming in a hurry, caught by 4/10 that lap.
Yep, absolutely, in that Andretti car. Now, Daniel Abt here is in 10th place, just in front of Robin Freintz in the blue and white Andretti car, and Stefan Sarrazin behind in the black Venturi car. So Abt is causing a little bit of a traffic jam at the moment. That last lap,
6/10, Jack.
Yeah, he lost 0.6 of a second.
Look at him pitching it in, that lovely bit of yaw as they slide it through that last corner there.
And these guys are 5 seconds behind Mitch Evans. So Mitch Evans is looking good for Jaguar's first points. I know, I've said it. I know, I said it. I know.
But he's going to manage that energy. Now, here we go. Here's Robin Freintz. He's setting him up. He's going to... Now he's going to cover to the inside, but to the left. What that thing goes in a straight line with that Schaeffler motor.
It does, doesn't it?
Nice too far back.
We just saw fastest lap set by Sam Bird. So he, at the moment, is the man who set the fastest lap, and we'll get a point for that. Through the hairpin at turn 5. And this is allowing... it's not really allowing Lopez into the fight in that DS Virgin car there, the silver and purple car at the back of this queue. because that just about seems to have enough leeway. He gets about a car length coming into all the braking zones.
Yep. You know, and he was the one I said. I thought he had more downforce in the car. They must have changed it after basically as the car was still there. They were still working on it when it went back there as well. But Mitch Evans is having to slow down about 12.4 that last lap. He lost 4/10 to Daniel Abt, so he's got to maybe look after that energy a little bit. And that might be his closing
Here
lap.
comes Heidfeld up the inside of Stefan Sarazan coming down into turn 5. Came from a long way back, Nick Heidfeld.
He really did.
But he's got through up into 12.
Yeah, old Sarazan had his eyes open on that one, didn't he? Thank God, because he came so late down the inside.
Talk 7.
And there is Daniel Abt using his fan boost now as he comes down into the left-hander just to keep himself clear of Robin Franks behind him.
Odd time to use it, really. Maybe he thought if he didn't use it then, he would never use it.
Yeah. Or maybe Franks was really close to the back of him while we were watching Heidfeld squabbling. Meanwhile, further back, we've got Mitch Evans, who is behind both Dragon cars, but right with both Dragon cars. He's got a little bit less usable energy remaining, 47% as opposed to 49 and 50 for the Dragon cars.
He really was out of rhythm through that chicane. Did you see how clumsy it looked?
But this is an exponentially better showing from Jaguar than the first 2 races.
Brilliant. Really, really good. And
fantastic.
Look, Duval put a bit of a block on him into turn 7 there, quite a late block. So let's see if Mitch can get close enough to have a go back into 1.
So what's going to happen in this queue here, which is featuring, we're on board with Sarazan looking back at Jose Maria Lopez, chasing him down for 13th position. Lopez has got 1 point from finishing in 10th place in the last race in Marrakesh.
Lopez is really losing out of turn 1, which is allowing the guys to get away, so he cannot make the move into 4.
And here comes Heidfeld up the inside of Robin Franks coming into turn 4. Heidfeld, man on a mission.
Quick nick on a charge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Robin Franks looks in trouble here.
Yeah,
he got offline or something, but doesn't look happy.
And this is all good news for Daniel Abt because it's allowing him to just edge away a little bit in front. A swap of position between the 2 Dragon cars as well. D'Ambrosio is now in front of Loic Duval in their battle in 7th and 8th place.
Now Heidfeld is still under investigation for being under the minimum pit stop time, so that's hanging over his head a little bit.
Buemi using his fan boost just for fun, I suppose, because he's only 3 seconds in front of Jean-Éric Vergne. In fact, on that last lap, Buemi did a personal best, but was still 0.2 slower than Vergne. The Grassi's charge to the back of Vergne has slowed down meanwhile, so it's 3 seconds from race leader there, Sébastien Buemi, the 27-year-old Swiss driver in that blue and yellow Renault car. It's 3 seconds from him back to Vergne, and then 2.3 seconds back to de Grassi as Robin Franks is under pressure now from Stefan Sarazan.
And Buemi used the fan boost in that lap coming up to turn 4. I don't know why, he's probably, again, just thought, I better use it now. He's got a lovely 3-second gap.
Oh, here's the look. Mitch Evans going for it up the inside. Sorry, Stefan Sarazan going for it up the inside. Not quite close enough.
The elbow's out there from Robin Franks, was it not? He's been very, very defensive there.
That's going to allow
over 12th place.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to allow Lopez into the party too in that silver and purple DS Virgin car. And right at the back, keeping a watching brief on it all, is Antonio Felix da Costa, who's had a horrible day. 2 crashes, but he's in 15th place. And
I want to see da Costa attack here, because he's had such a crappy day. I want to see the attack and get through. Robin Franks is surprising me because his pace this morning in the free practice sessions was pretty good.
And also, it's worth pointing out, although Daniel
Lopez is on a run here. He's got to run through this corner. Just watch what happens.
Here we go. He's pulled out already. He's almost alongside already, isn't he, as they come down the straight?
Yeah, but look at that Venturi going a straight line.
Up the inside, late on the brakes. Is he going to get it done? Yes, he is.
Lovely.
So that's Lopez up into 13th. It is all over.
Listen to the crowd. You might hear the crowd here through turn 3. I'm sorry.
Okay. Good move, good on energy.
Here he comes. Techeetah, as he's known. Look at that, on their feet as he makes up another place. Can you imagine if he was racing for the race lead and he's having to defend there?
Techeetah, that was a bit
and he's trying to go around the outside. Stefan Sarazan! Surely not. Goodness me. That was brave stuff from Sarazan. Da Costa sees his opportunity. Sarazan almost goes back into the back of Lopez. And a little bit of a love tap at the back from Antonio Felix da Costa. Goodness me.
Oh,
what's happening here? Oh, the back markers getting out of the way.
I almost want to stop and just let them go.
I suddenly thought we had a full course yellow or something, but they're just getting out of the way.
Good work there, guys. I mean, that's considerate driving.
Meanwhile,
Lopez.
Vergne again took 0.4 of a second out of Sébastien Buemi. We're on lap 32 of 37, so not many laps to go. And, you know, I'm sure Buemi is probably just cruising, but it's encouraging signs for Vergne.
Let's see what Lopez can do with Robin Frains here.
De Grassi is now 2 seconds ahead of Prost as well, but yes, the problem was, well, the thing for these guys, yes, they were all scrapping really hard over 12th, but they could see Daniel Abt and 1 point up in front. But here's our race leader, Sébastien Buemi.
Glad you're not pushing it too hard, Sebastian. Right. that is commitment. That's when you're in the rhythm, it all feels easy, and there you go. He's looking down as he exited the corner. He looked down to change something on the steering wheel.
Well, that'll be when he comes across the line, and he has to give a timing. An energy.
You wouldn't have to look down to do that. It's right in your eye line.
Okay,
yeah, he's playing around with some of the buttons, I would say.
Here is Buemi. The gap's now down to 2 seconds. It was another 0.3 on that last lap. I don't think, and I'm not meaning to put a damper on it all, I don't think we're seeing Jeb haul in Buemi for the lead of the race, but he's getting closer because it was at 4, wasn't it, or 5?
4 laps to go, so he's got to catch him half a second a lap, hasn't he?
Vergne being told to push there.
This is what we've needed to see, though. We've got a driver, Buemi, in the same equipment, and the Techeetah team have worked really hard and made some big hires. Guys like Dave Stubbs to bring the organisation up.
His lap time, his energy.
He wants some information, does Jean-Éric Vergne. What's his lap time, what's his energy?
But we're seeing somebody challenge Sébastien now. We've got a heads-up display here as he comes through turn A. Watch him jump the curve in 9.
All the 3 first have the same amount of energy.
Watch the bump here into 10 as he lifts. That bump just sets a little oversteer. This rhythm section through 10, through 11 here, 12, and then you got that long run into 1. Everything there happens.
21.39.
How you get out of turn 10 is all that's all about.
9 copy.
And Lucas de Grassi
2 more clicks to the back.
Is under investigation for an unsafe pit stop release. So we mentioned it at the time when he came out in front of Piquet. It'll be a harsh one with that flying corner, but well, that's an interesting one.
Sometimes it's not up to the teams to make up for the deficiencies of the track. You know, I hate to say it, but you know, if you can't see the car coming and you release the car,
the quirks of the track, should we say?
Yeah, well, you say what you want. But seriously, it's a brilliant place, but that is a blind corner. And if the mechanic releases the car before the other car's in view, he can't do anything more, I would say.
Yeah, indeed. So here they come again.
They're catching Ma here.
They certainly are. And here's Lopez now. What's he doing? He's battling with Robin Frains. So Lopez is in front of Frains and up into 11th place. He's made the move into turn 1. Another standing ovation for Jose Maria Lopez. Frains is now behind him, and that means Lopez is only 1 place away from picking up a point. Daniel Abt, who's quite a way up the road. Frains thinks about it. They both thought about it.
Lopez really backs him up into turn 5, and he was lucky there that Robert Frains didn't give him a little hit just to motivate him.
Now, the problem, well, what's going to unfold in a couple of moments, or maybe by the end of the race, well, the problem is for Mitch Evans is he has the time penalty. That's the problem for that unsafe pit release, which I think at the moment will put him down into a net 13th position, because it was a 5-second time penalty for Mitch Evans.
Was that for speeding under the virtual
full course yellow? Yeah. So although he is in 9th place on track, that will encourage the team and everything great. That 5-second time penalty will put him down into 13th place, unless these guys all start squabbling. And Felix Rosenqvist has just set the fastest lap of the race, so he now gets the point back.
What are you doing, Sebastian?
Is he having to properly push now?
I don't think so. I mean, this is him starting lap 36. We've got 2 to go.
2 laps to go.
Let's see what the time, 11.8 and 11.6, 2:10. It's still 1.7 seconds.
He should be comfortable, shouldn't he? Here's the unsafe release. By the time they...
no, the guy released him in the car. And
then the car appears.
De Grassi. Apologies to the track.
What, so you think they saw the car and then released him?
Well, he had to release him. The guy didn't even look. If you look at the mechanic, he's facing pit out when he's releasing.
Yeah.
He's got his back to the pit lane, so he released him.
Okay. Oh, and there is Ma moving out of the way. Calm down, Jack.
Calm down, Jackie.
When it's Techeetah,
here we go. He's not even looking. He's not even. The mechanic is not looking. That is the mechanic's fault. No. If you go back, Jack, the mechanic could have.
I know what you're saying, but it's always informal. They always, if they come in nose to tail, they're going to go out nose to tail.
But you have to brake. The point is, the car on track, or the car in the pit lane had to brake.
Oh, look at these two!
The teammates!
The two Dragon Racing Faraday Future cars, and at the moment it's D'Ambrosio who's in front of Duval. They're in their own little race, really. They nearly came together in Season 2 in Beijing, and meanwhile Oliver Turvey is now behind Daniel Abt. There's been a change for 8th place. Here comes Duval, Jinky one way, Jinky the other way. D'Ambrosio locks up. These two are really larking around.
Remember
Daniel
in
Abt,
China when they almost came together?
Daniel Abt, look behind, is in front of Turvey,
Oh,
so
they
Abt is
touch.
up into 8th. Goodness me. Jay Penske, the team boss of the Faraday Future Dragon Racing team, is going to be interested in this.
Gives them a raise. That's mega.
So then there's Abt in front of Turvey. Turvey's now been caught by Mitch Evans,
Final lap.
and it's now the final lap for Sébastien Buemi. Is he going to be the man to make it 3 out of 3? The first man to score a hat-trick of Formula E race victories, and Vergne's backed off on that last lap. Buemi turned in a good lap. Vergne had to slow down. And so I think Buemi has got this one in the bag. Well, you probably could have... Oh, and in the wall is Sam Bird.
Yeah.
Sam Bird's in the wall. Now, is that going to cause chaos for these battling drivers? Because there's a yellow flag out there now. That's going to be the
Well,
interesting
it's certainly
thing.
limited their passing opportunities, hasn't it?
Exactly, so we could see it all come together at a grandstand finish down here. But Sébastien Buemi, I mean, well, this man has had some entertaining races here over the last couple of years. He won in Hong Kong, he won in Marrakesh, and by winning in Argentina, he is the man to take a hat-trick of Formula E wins.
Super job, super job. Tu pousses une lap,
That was a clinic on how to do it right there.
Super job.
Second for Jean-Éric Vergne, third for Lucas de Grassi.
Yes.
Fourth is Nico
Bravo.
Frost.
Okay.
Fifth Piquet. Who's going to be sixth, Duval or D'Ambrosio? Or are they going to come across the wall, come across upside down? Here we go. Here it comes, Daniel Abt. He's going past. Jerome D'Ambrosio's having to get out of it, trying to save as much energy as possible.
These boys have got no energy left. Piquet's
Piquet's
zero.
at 0.
Duval
Piquet's
1%.
at 0 before he... No, Piquet's crossed the line, sorry. Piquet's crossed the line, so that's okay. Abt up to 7th. D'Ambrosio finishes 8th. 9th across the line for Turvey. 10th is Jose Maria Lopez. 11th for Mitch Evans. And, well, 10th place for Lopez, picking up a point at the end. Absolutely superb.
Let's have a chat with Sébastien Buemi here, if we can get a hold of him. Let's have a go.
Okay, it was not a clean race strategy-wise.
I think
But,
they're
yeah,
just having Lopez.
Yeah, it was a short race. Not happy with the race
Sébastien
at all.
Buemi, can you hear me? It's Dario in the booth.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
That was a clinic. Fantastic job there. Congratulations. Was it as easy as it looked?
The first stint was, let's say, easy, but the second stint, no. I struggled to keep Vergne, under control. However, there is no need to get too much of a gap because of a safety car. Then you lose everything. But yeah, it wasn't as easy in the second stint.
3 wins in a row. Congratulations, my friend.